How the weather has changed from one day to the next. It's so cold today. I'm sitting behind a windbreak here, trying to record. It's getting dark, so this is an evening musing, not a morning musing. But after reading a couple of Facebook comments today, I wanted to visit this topic again. The struggle that people have with connecting to Source, to connecting to God, connecting to Jesus. I want to demystify it and make it easier for people to comprehend what this drive of wanting to connect with God actually is. It is in search of validation, validation for self, but to come to that realization you have to deconstruct a lot of the religious beliefs. Because what is it really? The search for God is the search for self, the conscious awareness that we are, that is obscured by the persona that was developed by life circumstances, right? There is a consciousness behind your persona, which we call authenticity, authentic awareness, and that is what we generally call God. But we can't use the term God. Of course you can, but when we use the term God, that is such a conditioned word that makes our mind, our conditioned mind, automatically look outside of ourselves. When we hear the word God, we think of a being up in heaven, right? It certainly does not relate to ME, the majestic eternity that we are. I think that was who was using those letters. I forget now. If I remember, I would give credit, but I thought that was amazing. Me is the majestic self, the majestic eternity we call God, the I am. But like I said, the problem is our mind has been conditioned to look outside, away from ourselves in pursuit of God. That's the conditioning. You are God. And while you might make connection with external egregores and energies that appear to you like God, at the root of your craving is self-validation, soul validation. You want to be validated. And for most people, God or Jesus works because God comes, in most cases, packaged in grace, in mercy, in forgiveness, and in acceptance. And those things in themselves are validating. You're being validated, you're being seen by God. And that's why the relationship with God for people is, in many cases, so helpful. It is a step in the right direction of validation. But there's one further step to take, and that is self-validation. Your condition, you have to break down your conditioning, which was all against yourself. You have to break that down and then self-validate by realizing I am enough. I don't have to believe, perform, do anything to be accepted, to be enough, to be validated. This final step of self-validating comes by way of the awareness, the self-awareness that the very breath that makes up my soul is the breath of God. If you recall in the story in the Bible, that God breathed into the nostrils of Adam, and it became a living soul. Your soul is the breath of God. Your soul is God. And therefore, what you seek is yourself. What you seek is the validation and acceptance of yourself within yourself. That's the final barrier that humans have to overcome. Millions of people have a relationship with God, but ask them to have a relationship with themselves. Ask them about how they feel about themselves, and they will deny and denigrate and reject themselves and any virtue in themselves, any divine virtue in themselves. They will reject that. That's the anti-Christian action of the ego persona that denies you your birthright to divinity. That's the final step of self-validation that people that have a relationship with an external God still have to make for themselves to come home, to come to final peace, right? So I just wanted to say that in this very long way, 6 minutes already, 7 minutes. What you are craving in your pursuit after God is validation. You want to be validated by God. You want to hear that voice of God that is validating and accepting yourself. You can be that voice. You need to be that voice to yourself. And accept yourself in the I am that I am. I am that consciousness of God. And that, as in my experience, has brought me great peace with myself and with the world around me.